Hi and welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'm doing a quick comparison video on a couple of watches. They both do fit into the watches for tankered gas in that they both cost a lot less than a tank of gas would, and both of these watches actually cost less than a tank of gas in my motorbike. So what do we actually have here are two watches that cost less than £10, less than almost $10. I think they were both £8 each delivered. One is from a company with heritage and a really good reputation for good quality, affordable watches. They also do some extremely expensive watches. The other one is a name I've never heard of. It's kind of a look-alike watch of a Casio, but it's called SMAEL, SMAEL. Obviously, a real cheapy looking watch. What they've done is they've come up with a watch that just looks like a Casio G-Shock, I don't know, a Mudmaster or something like that. And in the video, I'll actually get to a really valid reason for buying this watch at some point, which was a struggle, but I've come up with something. So essentially we've got the Casio F91W. The 91 denotes the year this actually came out, 1991, but you can still buy it brand new today, brand new in the packet. It's about £8. So you can't go wrong. It's tiny, it's super thin. I think it's 30 metres water resistant. I think it just says water resistant, so it's kind of splash proof. This says 50 metres water resistant. Again, it's really only going to be splash proof. They couldn't get more differently in size, obviously, but the reason I bought them originally was to say, if you're only going to spend a real minimal amount of money, you just want a watch, and you're going to spend less than 10 quid, do you go for a real good make? This is a watch that you know it's going to last. It's reasonably robust. It's so lightweight, it doesn't matter if you drop it. It doesn't need to be shockproof because there's no inertia built into it when you drop it. It will take a bit of a splash. It's going to last for years, and it wears beautifully on the wrist. It's just like it disappears. It would be okay for a small child. It'd look a bit silly on someone with a really big wrist. I mean, on my wrist, it's okay. I like it. It is tiny. It's a bit of a departure. It's a bit of a talking point when people see it on you. They're like, "What the hell are you wearing? Why are you wearing a ladies' watch?" All different things. But it's a watch and it works. It's got very minimal functions. It's got a light which is absolutely useless. It's got a stopwatch and an alarm. The alarm is actually really good. It's one of the loudest alarms out of all the Casios that I've got. And it does what it says on the tin. It's accurate. It's got the date on there. It says Saturday the 19th. It's okay. It's got a light. You've got a 24-hour or 12-hour clock. Alarm, stopwatch, adjust. That's it. That's all you've got. It's fine. So the SMAEL, obviously a copy. It's got dual time, water resistant. It's got a stopwatch. It's got an alarm, and then it goes into the alarm, the set function, which is exactly the same as this. Oddly enough. The dual time feature is just the time is obviously a digital display down there. The seconds are repeated in a box there. I don't know why. It's just got a separate box with the seconds running. It just duplicates what's in there. There's some dots over here, and one of the dots shows you what, if you can ever see it, what the day is. It's generally mostly covered up. There's a little arrow and a dial, and it doesn't actually do anything. It's just printed on. But the dual time is basically you flick out this wheel, which feels like it's going to come off in your hand. I mean, that is not going to last very long, I don't think. And you can just set the time to whatever you want on the hands, and it doesn't affect, obviously, the digital display. And if you change the digital display, it doesn't affect the hands. Like on a decent Casio, the hands set, it would match the time if you wanted it, or if you had it on dual time, you can have it split. But this is just a case of, you can set the hands to whatever time you want. Was it 12:21? And that's it, really. So yes, it kind of has got dual time, but very kind of primitive, and that just pushes in. It's very flimsy. That the rest of the buttons are all quite nice. When I first used them, they kind of something cracked. It was almost like a seal had broken. I don't know if that's, I don't know what that is, but they clicked for the first time I used them, and now they just work with the normal push, and they're nice and comfortable to use. I can't sort of, I haven't got any problems with that. If you press the top button, you get the date comes up, just shows the day and the month. And if you press this bottom button here, it shows you what time the alarm is set for. This button up here is the light, and the light is just actually just the little LCD panel there and the little panel there. And there's a light button here as well, which does the same as this button here. So the buttons all work okay. It's fine. The strap's okay. It feels a bit cheap. It's got a dual clasp. It's okay. You know, it's you can't really grumble too much for a tenner. Obviously, it looks mahoosive on wrist, but this will come to the reason why I think you would buy this watch. I don't for 1 minute recommend this. This watch, I 100% recommend. This is going to become part of my collection, and it will stay part of my collection. You know, why not? And I really like wearing it. It's quite bizarre. Now this, the only reason, in my opinion, to buy this is if you're thinking of buying something like a Casio Mudmaster or a big Pro Trek or one of the big chunky Casio watches, but you're a bit concerned about your wrist size, or you want to have a go at wearing a big watch to see if it suits the environment that you're going to use it in. So if you specifically want this for rock climbing, for instance, is it going to impede you, or is it going to get in your way? And you know, how would you wear it? Would you wear it back or forward? You know, it's a real. Some of these big Casios are quite big investments now. They're pushing sort of £500, £600, £800, and I think to buy a watch like that, put it on and go, oh, I don't like, it's too big. I don't like the size of it. I know you can try it on in the shop, but to wear it and do whatever it like. If you're using it for a canoeing, you know, does it get in the way? Does it get in the way of you putting your hand inside your bag and get caught on things? Because you know, these are all things that it does do, being a big massive watch. So I think for about £8, it is a great way of deciding whether or not you really want a big chunky watch. And for that reason and that reason alone, I recommend it. As to its longevity, I just don't think it's going to last particularly well. It just feels, this bit feels really flimsy. I can see this going very quickly. These pins just push in. I don't think they're just going to fall out, but it's just, it's cheap and cheerful, and it's cheap. It's not even that cheerful. But anyway, let's dunk it in a glass of water, shall we, for a laugh? I haven't done this. I haven't tested it in the rain or anything like that, or waterproofness. I just want to see if I put this in and it instantly fills up with water. That button, I'm just checking, is in. It doesn't screw up or anything, so there's nothing I can do about the fact that it just pulls out, pushes in. So we're just going to dunk it in here. Let's push it down as far as it'll go. Okay. So there it is in the glass. Let's put that in with it, shall we? There we go. Get in there. Here we go. Right. So I'm just going to leave them in there. Just one thing I want to apologise for. I've noticed in some of my videos there's been some funny sounds funny noises coming through the microphone, and I realised what it was today. I've shot this video. Not this video, the video I shot before this, I reviewed it and I heard some funny sounds, and I couldn't work out what it was, and then I realised it was my phone was sitting next to the microphone, and when I have my phone here it interferes with my microphone for some reason, so apologies for that. That's now sorted. So there you go. They're both still working, and they're both underwater, and I would say both of these watches, with the ratings they've got, shouldn't be submersed, and they are fully submersed, and they are down, about 3 or 4 inches. So I would say you shouldn't really do this on either of these watches. and certainly not for a prolonged period of time. But what this will prove, if anything, is that maybe a shower, although a humid environment is probably not ideal for them, but a quick dunk in water while you're washing your hands up, or a bit of rain splashed on them, I think they're both going to be absolutely fine. To be honest, I was expecting the SMAEL to just fill up with water and die, but let's just give that a shake. There's certainly no water got inside it. It looks absolutely fine. I'll report back if it dies before I actually upload the video. But that one's okay. Let's get the beastie out. Let's just give it a bit of a shake. No, that's... Yeah, sorry, it was just on the wrong setting. That's working fine. It doesn't appear to be any water in. Let's oh dear. What happened? Oh, hang on. Oh. Yeah, so they're both shockproof. No, I mean, all I'm trying to, I know, a bit of a laugh, all I'm trying to show is there's a little bit of inherent robustness built in. Bloody thing. There's a bit of robustness built in, so I've slung it onto a hard floor, both of them. They've both survived a dunking, and, for less than 10 quid, I don't think you can really ask for any more than that. So I thought this would fail, and I might go for some quite slightly harsher tests with this now and see what it does take to kill it, because I don't think it'd be an awful lot, but it's okay. It's okay. So I would recommend it for the purposes that I've said. This one, is a great timepiece in my opinion. So there you go. If you want to buy one of these, I will put a link to it to Amazon in the description. I say this I 100% recommend. That it has its uses, but I wouldn't recommend it as a watch. I'd rather buy this. But as I said, it's made my mind up that I now don't particularly want a big chunky Casio. Like when you compare it like these, the little G-Shocks, these are fantastic. And I was thinking about this today actually. If you said to me you could only have one watch out of all the ones that I've got so far, it would be the G-Shock. There you go. Anyway, for now, this is GRVOTV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. I'll see you soon. Bye.